Can pride stand in the way of love, or can love overcome pride to build a true connection? Jane Austen's timeless novel Pride and Prejudice explores how pride and prejudice can create barriers in human relationships and how difficult it is to break these barriers. In this story, we will delve into the contentious and deepening relationship between Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. Pride and Prejudice is set in 19th century England and focuses on the life of the Bennet family, particularly their 5 daughters. The family's primary concern is to find suitable husbands for the girls, as the Bennets belong to the middle class, and securing wealthy and noble husbands is key to the family's future. The story begins to shift, however, when Elizabeth Bennet meets the proud and aloof Fitzwilliam Darcy. Elizabeth Bennet, the second eldest Bennet daughter and the novel's protagonist, is intelligent, headstrong, and challenges societal norms. Unlike her family, she is not focused on status, but instead on finding true love and charting her own path. This stance is a rebellion against the marriage ideals of the time. Her eldest sister, Jane Bennet, is known as the most beautiful and gentle of the Bennet sisters, but Jane is quiet and reserved. Her budding romance with the wealthy bachelor, Mr. Bingley, who has recently moved to the neighborhood, is a central plotline in the early stages of the novel. Jane and Bingley's relationship is pure and emotional, but it is complicated by the interference of Bingley's friends, especially Mr. Darcy. The central conflict of the novel is the complicated relationship between Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy. At first, Darcy's prideful demeanor and aloofness lead Elizabeth to form a negative opinion of him. Darcy, on the other hand, is captivated by Elizabeth's intelligence and independent spirit, though he initially suppresses his feelings due to her lower social status. Early on, Elizabeth develops a deep prejudice against Darcy based on his arrogance and pride. Throughout the novel, Darcy's attempt to confess his love to Elizabeth is clumsy and condescending. He admits his feelings while belittling her family's social standing and expressing how this relationship would hurt his own prestige. Elizabeth, rightfully angered, rejects his proposal and challenges his pride. This becomes a turning point for Darcy, forcing him to confront his arrogance and prejudices. Lady Catherine de Bourgh, Darcy's aristocratic relative, is another symbol of pride in the novel. She opposes the idea of Darcy marrying someone of Elizabeth's status and even attempts to intimidate Elizabeth into rejecting him. However, Elizabeth stands her ground and refuses to let anyone dictate her life. This confrontation highlights Elizabeth's strength as a character. Darcy's true transformation begins when he secretly intervenes to protect Elizabeth's family's honor. When Elizabeth's youngest sister, Lydia Bennet, risks tarnishing the family's reputation, Darcy steps in to help without seeking recognition. His sacrifice reveals that he is not only a wealthy man, but also someone with a deep sense of responsibility and love. Elizabeth starts to see Darcy in a new light after this event, questioning her own prejudices against him. By the end of the novel, the love between Elizabeth and Darcy blossoms once both characters have set aside their pride and accepted each other for who they truly are. Darcy's love for Elizabeth transcends his pride, evolving into a deep commitment. Elizabeth, in turn, learns to overcome her initial prejudice against Darcy based on outward appearances and first impressions. Austen uses this relationship to deliver a critique of social class, marriage, and gender roles. Pride and Prejudice is not just a love story, it is also a sharp critique of the social structure of the time, the divisions between classes, and the societal pressures surrounding marriage. Jane Austen uses wit and humor to explore these themes, all while creating an unforgettable romantic narrative. Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy remain some of the most iconic characters in literature, representing growth, understanding, and the triumph of love over pride. In conclusion, Pride and Prejudice is a timeless classic that demonstrates how love and societal norms can evolve. Jane Austen masterfully delves into human nature, showing how pride can stand in the way of love and how breaking down these barriers can lead to personal transformation. The story of Elizabeth and Darcy is not just a tale of romance, but one of growth and inner change.